Hello, we are back after a bit of a break from streaming. Not that planned, that break, but it happened, what can I say. But I worked a little bit off stream. Not anything fancy, just worked on the shader cache a little bit more, on the refactor. But yeah, hope everyone is doing good and great, and let's try to finish this today so that finally tomorrow we can finish off the terrain and the 0.4 version, as I want to get that out of the window and had planned that for the end of October, which we are still more or less in time for. A little bit over the thing, but yeah, with all the breaks that I took, to be expected. There is now, basically what I did is shaders are now assets, and you load shaders a little bit different, which is actually kind of nice. So where can I show that best? Probably in one of the graph tasks, right? So yeah, basically you just create it like that. We will kill this thing here actually right away by removing that dependency here. And basically making it that the asset system here is a dependency. And I mean, basically the window could be a pointer as well. Because why not? Okay. Alright. Because what that enables us to do is making this a lot simpler. Where do we even use the window? Oh, here. Here. And asset system. All right. And with that, we go to the graphics module. Graphics system, of course. And we put the asset system in there. And with that, all is good. And then all we have to do is here, remove that. Now we can remove that again, I think. Because I don't think we need that anymore. Damn. Mm-hmm. And then wherever we call that, we have to remove it as well from the car, but... That's pretty nice. Oh, where do we don't need that then here? Why is that there? Do we need that? Probably not. Ah, what we do? Never mind. Alright, but that should basically be a little bit simpler now. Ah, we still have it somewhere around, yeah. So here we can get rid of it. Here we can get rid of it. Awesome. So I think that should all still work now. Yeah. Perfect. And then the last bit missing is our volume generator, which I was about to... Volume shader generator. Which we need to add a couple of things for it to work again. Basically, we need to create the shaders on demand. For this to work. So I think I already created them somewhere. Maybe not here, maybe next to the header, probably. Exactly. So those would be the things I need, and then we create... Oh, let me move that away. It's annoying. So basically I want to include them in our CMake file. Volume generator. Oh, here. No. Shader. Generator here. The template. And then we have build chunk of tree dot age. We have to change that once we do the refactor on Monday, but we will deal with that when it's time. Find gray traced octree node. Generate volume. Let's actually remove those. And ray trace terrain. And those will be basically template files. For our output files. Data build. And yeah, tomorrow we will probably crash again a lot on stream. Because yeah, we will refactor a little bit how the terrain works. Trying to optimize it for the more or less final version. At least for the foreseeable future. Generate volume. Did I not? Okay, I didn't adjust that one. Perfect. I mean, actually, we could probably have them all in one, but maybe I do that. Maybe I move all in one. Maybe we do it like that. Volume shader templates. Let's do it. Oh. So basically we do this, call it volume shader templates. Remove that. Why don't we probably have them empty anyways currently. Alright. Let's regenerate them. All right, reload. Give me a second. I need to do one thing. All right. So we do that. We include here Onyx volume shader generator template stuff. And then we have namespace Onyx volume const extra. String view build octree beta. Is that not how it works? Do I need to include something for that? thought that was how it works. Feeling literal. Does that not work? Raw string indicator ignored. Why? Or do I need to do this then? Is it like that? Oh, maybe it's like that. I see. I see. Alright, alright, alright. Good. Perfect. All that I wanted. Beard, word, oak tree. Take that. Paste that in there. Maybe we actually... Does that not work? Damn it, I want to... Oh, yes. Perfect. Let's do it like that, because then it's a little bit nicer in terms of how it looks. Then we have here build chunk, oak tree shader. And then that one doesn't need it. That one probably doesn't need it as well. I think that one is even not used. Or is it? I don't think so. Alright, we have this one then. which is find ray traced octary node. Find closest maybe. No, actually find octary node I think is fine. Generate mesh shader. Yeah, perfect. Yep. And then we have this one, which we don't need anything for. Q chunk we probably don't need. We need the ray trace, right? Yeah. Which is this one. And then the terrain. I don't think we need that. Probably not. Then all we need to do is not that. Well, yes, that. Plus terrain function shader. Base terrain SCF shader. And we want to probably have as well something like that at the start, that we can basically generate that and have the 4 back. Don't think we need that, or oh, we do actually, never mind. But I don't think we need those. Those should be in common, hopefully. Oh, we can keep the debug print in there, I guess. Ah. That one doesn't even have a debug print, so we can remove that. That one has it. That one has it as well. And that one has it. Although we could actually just remove it. Oh. I think what I will do is move it to the common actually. I mean, you can still include it manually if you want to, but yeah, I will move it to the standard thing. So in common.h for the shaders. Wherever they are here. If, well, actually we can just include it all the time, it doesn't matter. Yeah, this is as well here. So I think we have everything we need here. So basically what I want here is we output this, which is the header. Which we do here. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do, right? I think. Just basically when we generate the shader here. Yeah, we do it basically on the fly here. Question is, do we... Because... Oh, here we do it right. Okay, maybe not. Maybe... How does that work? Volume, shader graph, serializer. Yeah, we do it like that, which is... I mean, I guess we could write out more files, right? So we could include here actually. We actually don't do that. This is really just that shader generator. And then we write file. Octree, well, directory path. Ring uter? No. Where is ignore case? Yeah, that one. Do I have a... Don't have a replace yet. And I think a replace is kinda... Can I do that? Can I do that on strings? Oh, I mean, we can try, I guess, right? STD ranges, replace. That. Add version. Add. I guess that doesn't work. Probably only... That probably doesn't work because it's not a jar, right? Yeah. I thought. Guess we could try that. That looks interesting. Some beautiful thing here. Search for that. We replace with that and we return a new string. And then we do another one where we replace that and we replace, what was it? That one. With that one? Oh wait, actually we probably... Yeah, I mean, something along those lines. It's probably not correct exactly, but... something along those lines. I mean, actually, I think we can just do the name, right? We can include it directly from the same folder, probably. Might be actually a little bit cleaner. But let's see. Let's see if that even works. to begin with. Oh yeah, we recompile now, of course. Alright. I should be able to open my volume graph, hopefully. Where did I oh, here. Yeah, perfect. And then we can hopefully save that. And get the breakpoint here, yes. So that worked. The shader stuff didn't work. Why? Is it not there? Oh, it's not there. Okay, well that's why. What do you mean apparently? Not okay. Welcome, welcome. Hope you had a great weekend so far. Was it meant to happen? String view. Well, let's do string. Alright. Is it about to happen or not anymore now? File name? Generic string? Maybe. Okay. I see. Well, no. But yeah, this week was a bit, yeah, whatever. When was the last stream? Was it Monday or was it actually? No, I think yeah, Wednesday. Yeah, I didn't stream this week. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Yeah, and then yesterday we had someone visit us and we played some board games. So yeah. But I hope that I can get back to it now again. But it's always a little bit, yeah, there's always stuff happening currently. And there's a new game that I want to play as well. How did you manage that? That's an achievement. That is an achievement. Is that with the extension or is that without the extension, the file name? That's with the extension, okay. So basically you would do replace extension age. And now we could. Yeah, not really. Actually, then let's do it different. Let's make it like that. Fire system, fire path, shader, volume, shader, header. And we don't need that. Now we can just do here file name, generic string. Now the only thing we need is... Hey GD Bobby. Nice. That paid off. Oh, sorry. Alright, so that should do it. That should hopefully output now our thing. Yeah, maybe. Let's actually const expr string u build octree shader file name. Build chunk octree. Oops. Build. Well, actually not build. Well, let's see what the others are called. So that's that. Well, let's actually write template file. File path template and is that it? Yeah, probably template and then string or file path. Or let's do string maybe. No, let's do file path actually. Header file path. Then we basically do that with the path here. Name template code. Yes. What's your question? Let's see if I can answer it. They are all taken, or are those the ones that are available? I googled a time ago, but yeah, didn't really decide yet. But yeah, I looked at this. Okay, so those seem to not be the taken ones. But how do you get to that now? I mean, why are you asking? But yeah, I considered that as well already. I'm not sure. To be honest, I am not sure which one I prefer. Probably the .com though. But then again, I'm not sure. So that's... So we have... Can I collapse that? No, unfortunate. So that's that one. And then we have find octree node. It's fine, I can get it as well. Don't worry. I was actually considering getting it rather soon. So if it's on sale, maybe I get it today. Unless you're fast and then you hassle like a... No, is it hassle? Hager, or is it Hager? Well, whatever. Negotiate with me. Please don't. Find tree node shader. File name. Alright. I don't know why you would want to buy one, but sure. Feel free. So let's build and find octree node. And then we have generate volume. Alright, that should output hopefully everything. And then this is not that anymore. That is actually, we have 4 assets here then. Generate or build tree. Yeah, I've seen that one, yeah. Not sure what that is. It looks a little bit like a scam AI kind of thing. But maybe not. Maybe it's real. I don't know. It feels a little bit weird. It looks very sus, yes. Trace terrain. Shader and generate terrain. Or volume mesh. Shader. I think those are all we need. Now we basically just create asset ID. Generate volume mesh. All right. And then this is not that anymore. This is basically just shader graph. This is well, actually not that. This actually. That's our path, and then we do an asset ID of the directory path slash those. That should be what it's about. Ray trace. I mean, let's find out if that works. But at the start of the year, I looked at the domains already, and this website was already like that. So I don't think there is anything going on anymore because it's coming soon for a while. Alright, I think we need to make this into oh, that sucks actually. I think we need to make that into a full directory path. Where does that come from? That's unfortunate. File system path. Convert to mount path, probably. Because why is that not a mount path to begin with? Shouldn't that be a mount path already? I mean, that worked. Test volume graph. That worked. The question is, why is the metadata not already 820? Because that should already be asset system. Yeah, shouldn't that be? Oh wait. I think it should be this then. Now when we actually load it. Don't do that anymore. I think we don't do that, we just do file system, get full path. Because why would it be a relative path? Yeah, alright, I think that should do it. I think that should be better. Maybe not. No, I mean, maybe it's actually fine. Maybe we're just loading the shaders again because their ID changed, because the path changed. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think. But that is wrong. Why? I mean, that looks fine, right? Get acid. Yeah. Oh wait, is it that get here asset ID? If it's a string view, no, that should actually be fine. I'm not quite sure why that happens. How would that be the case? Where do we load the secondary databases? Loga, serialize. No. Oh, got that. Let's go to the localization module, it's the easiest one. Here. Deserialize. That's why. Yes. Alright. So we do that, we load that. That looks better. Okay. Why? Why would that be an issue? Support again, repaired. What the hell? Where does that fare suddenly? Ah, wait. Ah, okay, and then we'll go here. Ah, but why do we even enter this then? What? Alright, whatever. That should work again. We should be able to save that again. And we should have now a couple of them output there. That looks not so bad. Now the question is, when we load that, does that work? So we go back to our volume terrain system. Now we are here. And now we say generation component dot. So, I mean, those are fine, right? Okay, well, this one doesn't exist anymore. That is create creator instance from that, and the properties. And this is, oh yeah, we do this, right? Oh yeah, that's a little bit stupid. Or we can fix that. But it would be basically that, which is a little bit useless. So we have that. And then yeah, we basically have here, that is then our generation component. Well, not generation component, our, oh yeah, well, yeah, volume shader graph. Get ray trace. Well, which one do we want? Oh, I'll get this one, for example. Which would be this one. Which would be this one. Generate mesh. We have this one, we have this one, this one, this one. Ray trace we need. And then the reset we have as well. And is that everything? Or do we need the setup dispatch? Okay. It's this one, right? Yeah. That might actually already work. And then the only thing is we need to basically ensure that the shaders are loaded. Need anything more? Generation component. I think that's it. I think that's it. Actually, it's this. But now let's do the ugly not equals in front. I think that should do it. Famous last words. Perfect. What? Is that not a thing? Oh, it seems like not. Data scenes, test scene. Why? Okay. But shouldn't the get full path give us a full path? I mean, hold on, shouldn't that work? Size 4, okay, well that doesn't look very Light test scene. Data scenes test scene. I mean, that looks fine, but for some reason it doesn't work. What if I do that? Oh, still. Oh wait, okay, that makes kind of sense then. Where? Oh yeah, okay. Fire system path. Wildfire path. Scene directory. Path. Get full path of meta path. Parent path. Does that already work? Or do we need more? Okay. Ah, load shaders, perfect. We're here. Then we create a shader instance. In here. But the shader is empty. Because the shader asset ID is wrong. Okay. Well. I guess that didn't work then. No, not that one, that one. Yeah, let's actually put a breakpoint here. So the shader asset ID is that, which is fine. Oh, is that a... Okay, yeah, it's a missing asset, okay. Where is it? Project. Shaders, volume, graph, and... I wanted this to be... Well, it should be. Let's copy that out, actually. So it should be this. Copy value. And then let's see what we actually deserialize here. So it should be this for this one, right? But maybe it's not. Because maybe the directory path is not correct? I don't know. Okay, so project, shaders, volume graphs, test volume graph. And the ID should be 186, but it's not. Okay. Oh wait, this one returned empty? Why does this return an empty string? Okay. Oh, is it then that we need to do? I mean, probably we would want this, right? Generic string. Maybe that works. I think that should hopefully do the trick. I think I want a coffee after that one. once that works. Do I need to recompile again? Because you're stupid. Well, I will get a coffee in the meantime. Be right back. Alrighty. Are you running again? Perfect. Are we running here again? Where are we getting the correct shader? Yes, we are. Perfect. So does it work? Is the other question. I mean, almost. Oh, okay. Do I need to... Oh, why do I do it like that? Because I want to get the shader right away, right? That's why. Which is a little bit against the logic. But it might be fine, I guess. Ish. We probably need to handle it a little bit special then. But I assume that... Yeah. That entry is not valid. Because we basically need to do here graphics API create shader. Ah, but that doesn't exist, right? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that is a problem. But do I need? Yeah, I do, right? Probably. And actually, I need it in the other one as well. Need that in both shader graph versions. Okay. Basically, when we deserialize, we want to see if it's still valid, right? Can I just do is shader up to date? Would that work? Or like maybe get shader hash? Maybe we do that. Yeah, that is a little bit problematic. Because realistically we want just that part. So what we could do for now is just disregard that. And just always do that. Just always do that, always create that shader instance, and that's it. I think that should work. It's not perfect. We can maybe clean that up later. Oh, we should think about that. That is something we definitely need to consider. Because currently working on two different machines kinda doesn't work with that approach of the shader generators. How they deserialize basically. Because it will always load the old version. Which is not good. Although, in the case of the volume, it actually would kinda work. Yeah. What? Didn't I want to start? I think that will work now, but it doesn't, as I said, it doesn't really work on different, like if I would submit my stuff, change the shader and it's in the cache of someone already, then this wouldn't work. But I think that works now. Or maybe not. Okay. Shader instance. I mean, okay. Well, we shouldn't even add that into the static mesh cores. If material is valid, if volume terrain, okay. Shader instance. Well, it's loaded maybe? Shouldn't that be the shader instance? Okay, maybe not. Material shader graph. Shader. Shader graph. State is loaded. Ah, because the material is loaded, but the shader graph itself is not loaded, right? So actually what we should do is material. I think that should work, that we call this. I think that should return false now until the whole thing is valid. So that goes in here, and then this has is valid, and it will go in there. I think. That's what I did recently. Yeah. Oh yes, we are back. We are back with a nice different shader handler and shader cache. So the thing that I can show now, which is kinda nice, is before it was that we had like a weird white background while loading the engine when there were no shaders. And now it looks like that. So the shader cache is empty, right? Get rid of that. Then this is basically that. So if we load now, we have a brief moment of white, but now it's black and we are loading shaders in the background. We need a loading screen for that, but I will not really do that, but yeah. So we are loading the shaders in the background, and then once it's done, we'll just pop in. And here we are. And then again, we go in here, we have a breakpoint here, but we are instantly in the scene view. We can do like all kinds of operations, and then once the shaders are in, we will see them. And we don't need to wait anymore, because before it was freezing until the shaders were loaded for this. And we probably want like a notification thing, like loading shaders or something like that at the top here, to indicate that there is stuff missing, right? But yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I think I would want as well that if we clear that we basically fall back. So if generation component volume shader graph is a null pointer, as we do that. And if it's a null pointer, then we will basically fall back here to the default one. Which is here, basically all of those. Build oak tree. Build chunk oak tree. Find ray trace. Generate volume. And probably ray trace terrain or something like that. Yeah. And then let's do that by default for now. And those we basically need to include default terrain.h. Generate volume. Tab 1. Ray trace. And that should be that. And that should now give us the default shaders. Maybe not. We probably should have a better error handling for that case, but which one fails? Build Octree. Isn't that what it's called? Shaders, compute, volume, build. Oh, build word Octree. Of course. And that should give us the sphere with the... Maybe not. Is there a... Oh, we have an error. Find ray trace Octree node. 60, 65. 60. Oh, okay. But I mean, I guess we can get rid of that. Again, yeah, that should give us the terrain we were used to. Perfect. Okay, cool. And now we bring back basically that. And that is basically our non-default terrain. I mean, actually, volume shader graph. No, I mean, that can be empty, right? So we should handle it like that. Because I think, yeah, if we have no ID, then it's basically that, right? If this is empty, then I think it is that. We can test that easily by going to the test scene. Volume, graph asset, and let's write here a 0. That's not it. Do we always create one or what? I guess we always create one. Where? If that is false or that if is valid. Oh wait, it's this, right? If terrain settings is valid. It's here, right? This returns. Okay. Let's do it different then. I guess we do this, right? I think that should do the trick. Yes. And then bring back that ID, and then we should be back with the spheres. Maybe not. God damn it. Oh, well, maybe that's a crash that we sometimes get. Yeah. It's not perfect yet with the synchronization between the rendering and the asset loading. We need to do a little bit more safety stuff there. But that's about it. So that's pretty cool. All right. I think we should do the same for when we have no material graph, right? We should have a default one or something like that. Can I somehow as well say node editor? Well, actually, no, not here. Save dialog. File dialog. Can I somehow as well say where it's allowed to be saved? Because I think I would want to limit it. Because I think, I mean, the default path is nice. But I would want it to be able to, like, to reject saving in a different folder. Would be nice, but I guess it doesn't really work. I mean, we can just reject saving. So basically, if the path is not in the in the default path that I would want, we reject it and open it again. That could work, right? But I mean, we can leave that out for now. What's filter list and filter count? Because that's empty. Ah, that's... No. Ah, yeah, okay, that's... okay, it's not empty, yeah. Ah, working directory, yeah. So basically what I would want is if our path file path selected path or save path if our save path is not okay, maybe not. I would want to check if that is if it's in the same directory path. File path C++. P and root. Oh wait, lexically relative. A/B is empty. How did that work? I always hate that. Command path. Oh, we could do. That doesn't really work. That would work, but it's ugly. Well, I guess it's the way to go. Actually, we could probably do if path or path ignore starts with that one starts with the working directory. If that is false, then we call the save file dialog again. I think that could work, right? So basically, if I open that now and I open this shader graph and I say save as on the desktop test, then yeah, I get that again. That works. I mean, I would want to what does that mean? Oh, well, okay, we need to definitely do that always, right? Otherwise we leak. Can we not do... Oh, why would you not do that then? I would want this to handle it and force it to be opened in that always. I mean, I would want this to be always. Whatever. Guess we need to investigate that later. But yeah, I would always want this to be in the correct folder. Basically save as on the on the desktop here. And then probably I want an error. All right. So that should do it. What else do I want to do today? I think that's mostly it. I think I would actually maybe call it already a day for today because that's already the progress that I wanted to do anyways today. We will submit that. And then tomorrow we are streaming again during the day. Basically the whole day is the plan. And we will address the last missing puzzle piece for 0.4, which is the performance of the terrain regeneration as well as the terrain shaders. I have an idea how to clean them up a little bit. That will be quite a big thing, but I think it might be doable on one day, depending on how, if I get stuck or not, if the idea doesn't turn out the way I want it to. But in my head it should work. But yeah, I think I will call it a day for today. I will do the rest of the time that I have before dinner. And prepare the patch notes for the version for 0.4. Because it's quite a long list by now. And I would want to get that as well prepared already. So I think this week we will finish 0.4. Hopefully. And then we can move on. So basically, let me open that again. So we will finish this. That's by no means anymore the whole list. There is a bunch of other things, like smaller things that I need to add to the change list basically. But like those were the big ones, let's say. And then we get to this basically, which is smaller, but still quite nice. So we kind of did this already now. So that's actually out of like 0.5. There is still bug fixing and polish, but this one basically went in here. Except for the hot reload. Technically that's not in there. The shader as assets is basically in. And yeah, this is a nice one. It will bring the engine quite a bit further in terms of usability and stability. This one, the 0.5. And yeah, then we have 0.6 right after. I don't think this 0.5 should take too long. I hope it should take a month or something like that, maybe less, depending on how much I stream again and stuff like that. But it should not take too long, I'd say. There is as well an optional thing here, which would be multiple viewports. Which would be nice. I'm not sure where we would put that. If we will squeeze it into 0.5 or one of the other ones. Potentially in one of the other ones to not blow up a version again like this one. Although it was intended to be small, but then it kinda exploded. With all the different bits and pieces that I wanted to add to make the terrain nicer. But yeah, and somewhere along the line, hopefully a website as well. Alright. Yeah. So we will be back tomorrow, finishing this hopefully off. Thank you very much for joining. We will be back, as I said, tomorrow. Probably let's aim for 11:30 ish. I try to eat before that, and then let's try to be streaming from 11:30 until the evening. That would be quite a nice amount of time to get it done, I'd say. Yep, so have a nice rest of your evening, and yeah, hopefully see some of you tomorrow, and have a great start into the week. Yeah, bye bye.